enjoyed that. And then we go to Sonic Colors, and it's like, what happened here? And then everybody loves it. This is what I don't understand. This is not a Sonic game. This is a Mario game with Sonic. It's a Mario game with Sonic skin. They took Mario Galaxy, the whole concept, the whole idea behind it of being in space and just, you know, being, because Mario Galaxy, when you think about it, it's probably the only Mario game that goes back to the classic Mario games. You get the fire flower, you get all the different suits that he had back in the day. You get the frog suit, I think. You know, back in, we haven't seen that since Mario Brothers 3. So, what is Sonic Colors about? Oh, we don't get to see certain elements that we haven't seen since, like, Sonic 2. Like, certain enemies, 2D gameplay, 2D platforming. There's a lot of stuff that I'm missing because I haven't played Colors in a while, but it's the same exact concept as Mario Galaxy. Now, what did I say before? I said, keep your Mario out of my Sonic.
Yeah, you're definitely right there, because there's much more enemies that was from the classic games put into straight to Colors. Right. And they had the same dynamics, and yes, of course, the 2D gameplay, and quite frankly, like, with the Emerald Challenge, that they actually stole the level design from the classic games and just put it straight into it.
Right.
Which people really adored of.
Right. And, again, I'm all for nostalgia. Now, here's the thing. We've been going with this nostalgic thing since Sonic, I'll say safely since Sonic Unleashed with the 2D games. And, you know, they had to keep it modern, so they threw the Werehog in there. People didn't like that. So, now we have Sonic Colors, you know, which is really, it has this retro feel, but it's still a new game, new adventure. People ate it up. They love it. Now, here's the thing. Sonic Generations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's your take on it? Is it hardcore or is it kiddie to you?
I would say Sonic Generations. That's a quite tricky question. I think I'll leave that to Jim first.
Kitty.
Jim says kitty.
Yeah.
Now,
It's
Jim.
just that,
Yeah. Go ahead. No.
Actually, carry on. Sorry.
Jim, what makes it kitty? Just give me one key point. What makes it kitty?
Really bright and happy.
True.
Not very world threatening.
Exactly. I'm gonna say dialogue. You can do it, Sonic! Everybody knows that line. Everybody knows that line. You know, like, I'm all for that because he did that in Sonic Heroes and people thought it was so corny. But the thing is, they focused on that and they didn't see the matter at hand. Metal Sonic is back, people. You know, that's what was going on in my head. Screw the happy lines and whatnot. We're Sonic Heroes! You know, who cares? No one. Metal Sonic is here. He's hardcore. He's a gigantic metal dragon thing now. And it's all dark and he's throwing stuff at you. He knows chaos control. It's just like so much was going on back then. But anyway, back to Generations. It was too scripted. You know, the two Dr. Robotniks at the end of the game, you know, the dialogue that they had, sure, it was funny, but it was so corny and cheesy.
That was another thing that they kind of borrowed that from Sonic Colors is the joke's dialogue. And I forgot who wrote it again. It was supposed to be some funny company that did it. Kind of lost my Sonic knowledge here again.
Dimps? No. Was it Dimps?
No, it's not Dimps. It's like a comedy script company like that did Sonic Colors. But I forgot who did it.
Oh wow.
And yes, as you guys know, there's like new voice characters and actors, but they borrowed that from Sonic Generations. So you probably expected that the same type of dialogue from Colors was in Sonic Generations, because like those funny moments was mostly directed at when Sonic was kind of joking with Eggman, and also when, you know, at the end of Sonic Generations when the two Eggmans are like arguing with each other.
Yeah, you know, that would make sense because those are the same vibes that I get, you know, from both of those games. And I'm gonna be honest, I hate it. The only reason why I tolerate it is because I'm a Sonic fan, and I'm always willing to throw my money at Sega, regardless of how I feel about the game. However, I would rather them go back to Sonic 06, Sonic Heroes, Sonic Adventure 2, but most of all, Sonic Adventure 1. Because if you go back to those, you're going to stick with the series. You're going to be in canon, first of all, and you're going to be true to its roots. You're going to be true to Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles. These newer games aren't doing the older games justice. Yes, it's full of nostalgia, it's full of 2D, it's full of the original rolling physics and blah 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 blah, whatever. But you're gonna get more complaints because Sonic has green eyes, oh my god, it's the end of the world. Or he's taller than he used to be, he's not short and chubby, and so now they have classic Sonic. Okay, the only reason why I condone all of that nostalgia in one game is because it was his 20th anniversary and Sonic more than deserves it. If I ever see classic Sonic in another Sonic game again, I'm sorry, but the series is over. The series is done with. Move forward from this. It's time for a reboot, honestly, but that's another discussion for... Tune into our SRC where we discuss that. We're going to discuss that. Our
seems like you're advertising a lot.
Yeah, we have a lot to discuss, but... You brought it up during this Let's Play. We're going to get back to the stages and all that soon. Hopefully right after we get Supersonic, which should be now. But
yeah, because we have just only collected 6 Chaos Emeralds. This needs just one more Chaos Emerald to collect.
Yep, and we got it. This is Death to All we're talking about. Come on. But yeah, man. I'm a huge nostalgist. I want all of our listeners and viewers to know that. I'm all for nostalgia, but I'm sorry guys, it's time to move on. We can't keep trying to take Sonic back to Sonic 1 days. Those days are in the past for a reason. Sonic Adventure happened for a reason. It's time to go with the concept that Sega came up with. That's the new classic, pretty much. And we should have never gone away from that.
Yeah, definitely had a huge bold statement for Sonic Adventure, and I always say that in comparison to Mario's 3D transition, is that they had a huge bold statement as well, but not in terms of storyline, but in terms of gameplay. As I've said, that like with the power-ups of Mario, 2D was so over-reliant in the 2D platforming, is that they actually realized what to make a good 3D game, which was to encourage Mario to explore the areas and use his special abilities. Right. And that's what Sonic Adventure did as well, perfectly as well in the 3D transition. Is that it wasn't much more linear as seen in much more the later games, and it was much more about not only going fast as possible from one place to another, but exploring the secret power-ups and secret rings that helps you across your journeys.
Exactly. Just like we see in Sonic 2, the different paths that you can take, the shortcuts, you see that in Sonic Adventure. There's so many different shortcuts, there's so many different explorations, and it's fast. I don't know, I didn't point that out in our Sonic Adventure Let's Play, but in Lost World, you run extremely fast, and in a lot of stages. Windy Valley, there's the speed is there. People say Sonic Adventure is the slowest game. Well, yeah, it does feel a little slow because it's momentum based. But guess what? Guess what games were momentum based? All the classics were. You don't just start at top speed. You know, you had to roll down a hill or you had to spin dash. Guess how you get your top speed in Sonic Adventure? You have to run down a slope or spin dash. Same thing, just in 3D. Now you press boost, and I'm sorry, but that's the cheapest thing that I've ever seen in a Sonic game. I mean, come on, really? It's over spammable. It's infinite now, pretty much, and it's just like, okay, it feels nice to run that fast, but in the end, it's just a camera effect and a sound effect, and you're going just a little bit faster than you would be if you weren't using it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a boost hater, even though I have some videos that might imply that I am. But
which we should not show, ever.
No, don't go look at my videos, please. Stay away from my channel altogether. But, does the boost belong in a Sonic game? Heck yeah. My idea? Give the boost to Super Sonic. He deserves it. Sonic should keep his spin dash. That's just my 2 cents. I don't think anyone's ever thought about that idea, though. They're just happy with their boost. The Mario fans are happy with you know, just being able to complete a stage at the press of a button.
So now, after this long rant over, that's not have nothing to do with Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I don't know what you're thinking, DK, and I don't know why you encourage him so much, Jim. But yes, we have transformed into Super Sonic.